everyone, and welcome to the City of Wizards with Alzroy Galcon. This map is my personal favorite back when CookieRun is still on the Lime/Cacao version, and even today is still one of my favorite maps to play with. I know I haven't uploaded an update video on this particular Breakout map. The last time I did a video on this particular Breakout map, it was more than 2 years ago. In fact, the last time this map was put on the rotation, it was in Season 9 if I remember it correctly. Yeah, it was around Season 9, although I'm not sure exactly when. Anyway, if you do like this kind of content, then be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to ring the bell so you will not miss out on anything that I put on this channel. Everything is free, you don't need to pay, and by subscribing you make this channel grow and flourish even more, which makes me happy so I can create more content for you to watch. So we started off at the entrance to the City of Wizards. In the Lime/Cacao version of this game, this was the second stage. There was another stage that used to be the first stage, but for some reason Devsisters never port that particular stage into the CookieRunOvenBreak, the version that we got now. And that stage is called the Moonlight Valley. I have no idea why Devsisters never put this particular part of the map. Although if I have to take a guess, the reason why is because that stage is way too short. I mean, we are currently running on the second stage on the City of Wizards, at least in the CookieRunOvenBreak version. This stage is called the Deserted Village, and in the Lime/Cacao version of CookieRun, this is the third stage. Anyway, let's talk about the first cookie that I'm using for this particular breakout run, Hero Cookie. This is one of the first epic cookies that new player gets in this game. If I remember correctly, this is the first epic cookie that all new players get. So if you are a new player, there is a chance that you have already have this cookie. And you might have noticed that my version of Hero Cookie is slightly different. That's because this costume is the one that you get in the Island of Memories game mode. Specifically, you need to choose Hero Cookie's Island of Memories, and once you choose that option, you need to get 150 out of the 165 stars available for that particular game mode. Now then, let's move on into the next part of this particular run, and the next cookie that I'm going to use is Dreamweaver Cookie. Now then, the second cookie, Dreamweaver Cookie. And yes, I do manage to get the super epic limited costume that was only available in the last update, which is the 9th anniversary update, and that applies to the cookie and the pet as well. So yeah, this is the first time that I'm showing you the gameplay of Dreamweaver Cookie and the pet in the limited super epic costume. But now let's move on into the third stage, the Perilous Apothecary. This is the place where Alchemist Cookies trial took place, and yeah, I've never actually created that particular content because the trial itself is actually pretty easy, although there is one trick that you need to use throughout the entire run. And I'm going to explain the trick if you want me to cover her particular cookies trial. But now let's talk about the treasure set that I'm using for this particular run. On the right side, it is the Divine Aura Extract Flask. This treasure is crucial because the trick that I'm going to use at the end of the Dreamweaver Cookies run. In the middle, that's the Cherry Pom Pom, and last but not least, the treasure on the left side, it is none other than the Glittering Dream Orb. Whereas for Hero Cookie, I'm using the Frozen Piece of Cake, the Umbretic Tome, and last but not least, the legendary treasure of Unidentified Flying Donut. Also, one little note about this particular breakout map, this is the stage where we are going to see bonus time for the first time. And it is not going to be the only time that we are going to visit bonus time. Later on in the run, you are going to see the strategy revolves around entering bonus time for 3 times with just 1 cookie. Yes, I'm not making that up. Also, did you know that Devsisters changed every single stage name on this particular breakout map except for one? I'll tell you more about it once we got into the stage where Devsisters for some reason didn't change the name. And coming right up, we're about to enter the bonus time for the first time. And it's not going to be the only time that we're about to enter bonus time on this particular breakout map. What fascinates me about the bonus times on this particular breakout map is that the bonus times background changes, and you will see what I mean once we move on into other bonus times. And speaking of background changes, did you know that there is one cookie in this game that can alter the background in this particular breakout map? And I'm going to make a video about it, and hopefully by the time that video comes out, this stage is still available to be playable on the map rotation. And now here comes the fourth stage of this map, the eerie greenhouse. Back in the Line/Cacao CookieRun days, this stage was called the suspicious greenhouse. Oh yes, there is something that I forgot to talk about, and that is related to stage 2, the deserted village. That is the place where Moonlight Cookies trial took place. And coming right up is the reason why I brought the Divine Aura extract flask into this run. So the idea is pretty simple. I want to end Dreamweaver Cookies run right at the end of the bonus time. But if I don't equip Dreamweaver Cookie with Divine Aura extract flask, Dreamweaver Cookie will run out of HP right around here. And now with the final blast, this should allow me to reach the bonus time. There you go. That's the second bonus time for this breakout map. The way we collect jellies in this particular bonus time is pretty specific. The idea is you want to go down and at some point you want to go up. And here I am showing you how to do it. Anyway, that's the end for Dreamweaver Cookies run. I need to quit at the end of the bonus time. And right after this, it is going to be Lychee Dragon Cookie as the third cookie that I'm going to use for this particular breakout run. So, Lychee Dragon Cookie. The magic candy's blessing for this particular run is the cookie skill. I know this because if I manage to equip it with the extra destruction points, then the amount of points that I get for destroying every single obstacle, it's supposed to be 20,000 instead of 10,000. Anyway, here's the reason why I want to quit at the end of bonus time in the Dreamweaver Cookies run, so that Lychee Dragon Cookie can enter bonus time once again. Anyway, let's talk about Lychee Dragon Cookie for just a moment. It is quite unfortunate that this cookie didn't win the Cookie of the Year. Specifically, it is for Cookie of the Year in the Legendary Cookies. I mean, the recency bias is what destroys Lychee Dragon Cookie from obtaining the Valentine's Day costume. And speaking of Valentine's Day costume, come on people, this is supposed to be a no-brainer option. Lychee Dragon Cookie is literally a cookie that is based on succubus and is full of affection. Yeah, I have no idea why Obscure Umbra ended up being the winner apart from, the recency bias that I'm talking about right now. And now I just have no idea what the Valentine's costume would look like for Obscure Umbra Cookie. I don't even think that the Valentine's Day theme fits Obscure Umbra Cookie. And as for the epic cookies, well, I'm going to choose Dream Jelly Cookie simply because the story for this character is absolutely fantastic. I know that sounds quite contrary to the thing that I'm talking about, which is the recency bias, but yeah, it's not like Obscure Umbra Cookie where the cookie won simply because of recency bias. I do believe that Dream Jelly deserves to win because Devsisters managed to make a memorable character despite the story is only like 2 chapters. Yeah, but yeah, that just shows you just how good Dreamweaver Cookie is. Well, at least character-wise. And here comes the most important trick in the entire part of Lychee Dragon Cookies run. There you go, I managed to skip the first blast, because if I don't, then activating Lychee Dragon Cookie skill for the final time would be next to impossible. Now then, the treasure set for this particular run. I'm using the Haute Cuisine Diner, that's the treasure on the left side. In the middle, that's the Jelly Jack-o'-lantern, and last but not least, the treasure on the right side, it is none other than the Red Egg of Resurrection. Now, the red egg of resurrection is the most important treasure here, simply because if I don't equip Lychee Dragon Cookie with the red egg of resurrection, then activating Lychee Dragon Cookie skill for the final time would be impossible. Oh yes, I haven't talked about this particular stage. This is stage 5, it is called the Lavish Pancake Table. If you want to farm coin at the City of Wizards, then this stage as well as the previous stage, which is the Eerie Greenhouse, are the greatest option that you could choose in this particular breakout map. Oh yes, there's another trick for this run. I have to delay Lychee Dragon Cookie from obtaining the health potion. And now currently we are at stage 6, the Old Library. This is the only stage in the entire City of Wizards breakout map that kept the same name as the line CookieRun version. And also this is the place where Wizard Cookies trial took place. I remember when I played this game on the line version that this is as far as I could go. And you have to remember, at the time you can only run with just 2 cookies, the main cookie and the relay cookie, just like the one that you see in Trophy Race. Anyway, it is now time to move on into the next cookie, which is going to be Peach Cookie. And this is going to be the last legendary cookie that I'm going to use in this particular run. Next up, it is going to be Peach Cookie. Now then, Peach Cookie. This is one of those cookies that I have in my roster that I didn't know how to play it. Well, what I meant is I didn't know how to play it optimally. I mean, I know how to use her ability, it's just I'm not that good enough to optimize it to the greatest extent. It wasn't until the Legend of the Spirit Weapons update, which was the update for August and September for this game, and yeah, that's the moment I decided I need to learn how to use this cookie, and boy, in breakout stages it was a nightmare. So much of a nightmare that I've decided not to practice it at all. Don't get me wrong, she is really good currently on the breakout meta, but oh my god, to use her effectively, it is so hard. I remember back then when Black Sugar Pirate Ship once again ended up in the map rotation, and this was the last cookie that I need to use, and oh my god, it was so hard because the run is entirely reliant on RNG, and it took me almost 20 attempts just to get the correct RNG. And that's something I do not want to experience it yet again. And now here we are at the Wizards Library. This is the only stage in the entire map that isn't on line CookieRun version. This is also the place where Blueberry Pie Cookies trial took place, a trial that I've managed to cover on this channel years ago. Now let's talk about the treasure set that I'm using for this particular run. I'm using the Spear of Greater Cataclysm, that's the treasure on the left side. In the middle, that's the Ageless Peach Pit. And last but not least, the treasure on the right side, it is none other than the Drakeling Claw. Now you might have noticed that my Peach Cookie is slightly different compared to her original costume. That's because I've managed to get her super epic costume. This costume is called the Nimble Delivery Dasher, and I've managed to get this costume by purchasing it from the shop. And coming right up is exactly why it is so hard to optimize Peach Cookie's turn when she appears in a breakout mode session. See these yellow moon jellies that I cannot take because of her ability? There you go, that's the exact reason why it is so hard to optimize Peach Cookie's turn when she appears in a breakout mode. I could have gotten all of those yellow moon jellies if both of the first 2 enemies are located at the bottom instead of the top. Now, if you are wondering why this particular part of the map didn't exist back in the line CookieRun days, the answer is actually pretty simple. It's because Blueberry Pie Cookie didn't exist back then. It wasn't until the Wizard Archives update that this cookie was made playable, but by then, this particular stage was already 5 years old. Anyway, time to move on into the next cookie, which is going to be Night Cookie. So, the fifth cookie, Night Cookie, and yeah, we already passed the halfway point for this run. And speaking of this run, the treasure set that I'm using for Night Cookies run are very specific. The only reason why this particular treasure set is very specific for Night Cookie is because Night Cookie for this run are going to enter bonus time 3 times. Yes, I'm not making that up. You will see that Night Cookie is going to enter 3 bonus times. The first one is located right around here at the end of this particular part of the map. It should be here any second now, and there you go, that's the first bonus time. And thanks to the combination between the Divine Guardian Shield as well as the Paradise Compass, all of the jellies in the bonus time are being magnetized into the player's position. And this is how a player makes a lot of points in bonus time. And it's not like this combination is a brand new combination for this game. This combination exists since Season 6. And now here we are at the 8th stage, the Clock Tower. Back in the Line Cookie Run days, this stage used to be called the Clock Tower Exterior. This is also the place where Prophet Cookie's trial took place. This is going to be the final map throughout the entire run that is also featured in a Cookie's trial. Now then, the second bonus time. If you take a look at the background there is a constellation that formed the shape of a like, kind of like the one you see on Facebook. And that's not accident. That is used to be a treasure known as the Hand of Liker's Good symbol. This used to exist back in Line Cookie Run. I don't know what you need to do to get that treasure. Well, apart from giving the official Line Cookie Run Facebook page a like back in those days. I'm not quite sure that is the only requirement to get that particular treasure. Probably it was awarded for all the players because the Facebook page back in those days reached a certain number. I'm not quite sure. If you do have that information, then you can comment in the comment section down below. Oh yes, before I do forget this, it's time to introduce the scheduling for the next couple of videos. The next video are going to be all of the Power Particles trial in the Rainbow rank, aka the hard difficulty. And right after that is going to be a brand new playthrough of a game that I knew of for a couple of years, but yeah, I didn't have the time to cover it until now. And I'm going to post it in my official post, and yeah, you'll see the kind of game that I'm going to cover on this channel. And yeah, we entered, this is the third bonus time, this is the final bonus time. This is also the final bonus time that we will experience on this particular breakout map. So yeah, stay in the middle lane until the bonus time ends, and there you go. And it is at this point I need to stop using Night Cookie and move on into the next cookie, which is going to be Amber Sugar Cookie. And if I keep continuing on right after around this point right here, Amber Sugar Cookie will receive less score. So yeah, next up, Amber Sugar Cookie. So then, Amber Sugar Cookie, and finally our beloved B-Boy received a costume in the previous update. I know this one is a limited costume, but the fact that he is going to get a super epic costume based on the Champions League costume, yeah, it's an exciting news to be an Amber Sugar Cookie fan. And the fact that this cookie arrives in the game during the 5th anniversary, and it wasn't until in the 9th anniversary update that he got a costume. And yeah, it's amazing to think that a cookie can exist in this game for 4 years and without receiving any buff whatsoever. Now let's talk about the treasure set that I'm using for this particular run. I'm using the Sugar X, which was the treasure that was introduced during the Powerpuff Girls collaboration update. In the middle, that's the colorful paper plane, and last but not least, the treasure on the right side, it is none other than the Wing Jelly of Resurrection. The treasure on the right side is the most important one, because without this treasure, then activating Amber Sugar's skill for the final time will be literally impossible. Now I should explain about the stage that I'm currently running on. This is Clock Tower Stairs. This is the second to last stage in the City of Wizards Breakout map. Back in the Line/Cacao Cookie Run days, this stage used to be called Clock Tower's Spiral Staircase. From my experience, this stage brought the same kind of feeling as the stage 5 in Sugar Tiara. In my experience, this is the stage where the difficulty curve rises sharply. If I could give a star rating based on how difficult this map is, I will give it maybe 4.5 stars, which is in contrast compared to the previous stages where I will give maybe 2 or possibly 3 stars. If a new player is not familiar with the stage itself, this stage can give them nightmares. And yes, that's the reason why I need to plot the Wing Jelly of Resurrection, because if I don't, then activating Amber Sugar cookie skill for the final time would be impossible. Now then, let's move on into the 7th cookie for this run, which is going to be Stick Cookie. Now then, the 7th cookie, Stick Cookie. What if I told you that the original design for this particular cookie looked so much different compared to the version that we have right now? The original version, based on what we got in their CookieRunOvenBreak Roadmap 2025 video, shows us that Stick Cookie was supposed to be a younger cookie and holds a sniper rifle before they changed the design into the version that we have right now. Oh yes, I forgot, the original version of Stick Cookie was supposed to wear a turtleneck as well. But now here we are at the Clock Tower roof. This is the final map in the City of Wizards Breakout map, both in the Line version as well as in the current CookieRunOvenBreak version. Now let's talk about the treasure set that I'm using for this particular run. I'm using the Supreme Sunblade, that's the treasure on the left side. In the middle, that's the Budding Future, and last but not least, the treasure on the right side, it is none other than the Jelly Pop Bottle Rocket. Now you might have noticed that throughout this stage we are being fired upon by this gigantic mechanical laser robot. This gigantic mechanical robot spawns in from the right side and always spawns from the right side. And all it does is firing lasers all the time, and we as the player needs to avoid it, otherwise we will take a lot of damage. Back then we have no idea what these mechanical robots are called, but now we do. And believe it or not, it is thanks to CookieRun Kingdom. These mechanical robots are called the Doomstar X-1 Protection Unit. And currently in CookieRun Kingdom, this particular mechanical robot serves as the boss fight in the 16th stage of World Exploration Episode 16, Eternal City of Wizards. And coming right up, it's the trick for Stick Cookie, and there you go, I have to do a Hail Mary jump, and it is much harder than it looks. It took me multiple attempts just to get that one right. With that out of the way, that concludes Stick Cookie's run. And now here comes the final cookie for this particular breakout run, Taurus cookie. So the final cookie for this run, Taurus cookie, and it is quite unfortunate that we as the player cannot choose which cookie that is going to be used for the final run. That decision is already being chosen by the game. And I have no idea why Devsisters decided to do this sort of thing, since the first time that I saw this back when I covered on this map as well with Sorbet Shark cookie. I guess that this is one of the ways that Devsisters tries to make the player max out all of the cookies, I guess. But yeah, anyway, what do I think about this map after I managed to beat it? I would say that this map is one of the easiest breakout map stages out there. That is of course not counting the coin team map such as Black Sugar Pirate Ship or the Spooky Spider Mansion. Oh yes, just for a disclaimer, this is only based on my opinion and my experience playing on this particular breakout map. Like I said, this is one of the easiest breakout map stages out there. I will say that Sugar Tiara is a bit more difficult at some parts, but the final stage on this map is definitely harder than the Sugar Tiara one. But overall, in my opinion, Sugar Tiara is a bit more difficult, but the two final stages on this particular breakout map, the Clock Tower Stairs and the Clock Tower Roof, are not to be underestimated at all. However, if I compare it to the Fragrant Lotus Paradise, then the two final stages on this particular breakout map is harder compared to the final two stages of the Fragrant Lotus Paradise. So yeah, in my opinion, Fragrant Lotus Paradise is the easiest breakout map. The second easiest stage for me is this particular breakout map, and the third one is definitely the Lost City of Sugar Tiara. Now then, let's talk about the treasure set for the final time. I'm using the Fiery Candy Comet, the Dreaming Bear Medal, and last but not least, the treasure on the left side. It is none other than the Starlight Nightlight. So yeah, that concludes this entire run. I'm ended up at Challenger 4, and now let's see if I could maintain that particular rank. And yes, I finally did maintain that Challenger 4 rank, and let's see where I am in the leaderboards. Oh, it's the top 3.4%. Well, I'm quite happy with the results because, well, I ended up on the Challenger rank, and that's a great result for me. Anyway, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. This is Galcon signing it off, and I'll see you in the next videos. Take care, stay safe, and I'll catch you next time.